Hello guys, UnoPro back here with another live gameplay. Now I'm going to be doing an Abyssian one. I haven't really done much Abyssian before. It's probably my least played faction, but I do want to, try and cover all the factions, give you guys a good variety. And I have played some decks, some games with this deck today. I went like 6-1 or something in S rank, so pretty decent. Still learning the ins and outs of the deck, but definitely a very, very strong deck. Now I thought I'd feature the deck used. That was number one in, I can't remember what they call themselves. So the guys who do the tier list on Reddit. I know Good Guy Hopper organizes a lot of. I'm not sure exactly if they call themselves something, but this was their number one deck. Now I know a lot of people look for these tier lists, so I thought, why not feature it out? Because people might want to play this deck because it's very, very strong. And it's actually Syken. Now, for those who don't know Syken, he's a very, very strong player, and I actually played with him last season of Team Wars. I was on a team with him for a while. Very, very smart guy. Really enjoyed talking with him and seeing his ideas. So we're going to try out his deck. We'll go over it quickly. So 3 Blood Tier Alchemists, pretty standard in a lot of Abyssian lists. It gives us a nice ping, plus it's a body that we can really spam out early, and just helps us swarm. 2 Demonic Laws, and now you could run 3 here. Definitely a medical. Not that much liner around, as well as vets, not running as many Amaya healers, so I think it's fine just to have 2. Plus there's no other real synergy with the deck. 3 Ephemeral Shrouds, starting to become the norm in Abyssian, just because Abyssian has no in-faction dispel. Really important to have these dispel targets, and that also can work as a similar thing to Demonic Law. Maybe you could switch these numbers up. Glim Chaser, we are playing Swarm Abyssian, same with Jaxi. The 1 Soul Shadow pack is interesting. It hasn't been overly useful, especially because we run 5 cards that benefit off Dying Wish as a finisher, so maybe I'll cut it, maybe I'll change it around. I haven't played enough games with the deck yet to really be comfortable making the changes. When you start a new deck, I think it's better to play out the deck, see why these cards are in there, and then you can make the changes. Don't just start a deck and make changes, because you don't know why. It may seem a little bit weird. Give it a test. That's my way of thinking. 3 Spelljammers is interesting. The deck can definitely go both ways. It can definitely play a ton of early minions and get really low, or it can have some of the bigger minions and harder to play cards. So sometimes I'm replacing this more often than not. It's pretty decent, very matchup dependent though. 3 Wraithling Swarm, Bloodmoon Priestess, nothing really to talk about. Black Solace, such an amazing card in Lilith. It's pretty broken. You just play it with your Bloodborne spell, it's an 8/11, and then you have Wraithling Swarms, Bloodmoon Priestess, so much burst if it lives a turn. 3 Shadow Dancer, a card I'm thinking about cutting. I was actually thinking of putting in Reaper of the Nine Moons. Where is that card? I have some of them, don't I? Okay, apparently I know why. I just thought I'd disenchant it because it got nerfed. So yeah, I would probably put something in there. I have plenty of dust. I might try out that because a lot of the time we have so many answers to benefit off a swarm that I don't know if I really need it. If there's more aggro, I'll see how we go, but just talking about potential changes, nothing I'm really going to commit to just yet. And just 2 Spectral Revenant at the end. So if you want to find this list and you can't get it from this video, then go on the front page of Reddit. You should be able to find it pretty easily. Okay, we'll get into game. Hopefully we can keep the streak going, because that's been doing pretty well for me, and I really don't have much experience with Abyssian, especially not Swarm Abyssian. Okay, Van R. Now it's getting really popular lately. Still not convinced on the deck, but we'll see how we go. Not a great hand. I think we just get rid of our 2. I need a good name for these things. What should we call them? The 2 Damage Death Watchers. That's a terrible name, but something like that. Because it's a bit greedy to assume that. Might get rid of it again. May actually get rid of Shadow Dancer. Instead, they do a similar role. This one can win me the game. This one is more of a stabilization. Often just the threat of this card I think is enough. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. You shouldn't move too fast. I don't actually know if I want to move up. I might go diagonally. I really want to ramp into 5 mana, and because I don't have a very good hand at all, often I'll have 2 turn 1 plays or something a little bit better. I think I'm just going to move up here. We really can't afford to That's actually not terrible. It means he has to kind of go 2-2 if he wants to play 2 minions. Or if he goes 4-drop, then he lets to get a mana tile, because he has to walk onto the mana to do that. If he has 2-2-drops, which is actually quite unlikely if he had to play Heart Sister first, then we should be able to get a mana tile, which would be really nice here. Though not guaranteed. But walking onto a mana tile, getting that Black Solace, that could be really nice. We may just end up going for a Blood Moon Priestess anyway. Heart Sister. It's quite annoying. That is definitely one way you can do it. Alright. This might be a little bit greedy to keep. I'm very much, in that mentality of that I don't like keeping cards that are going to require me to be ahead. So I guess with Swarm it's very possible to be behind and have stuff that benefits from. We're not looking to finish out the game, and Renata is pretty good at answering stuff like that. Okay. Well. What is the play? I hate giving him free reign over the mana tiles. This plus this seems very weak though. Okay, let's just try and set up a swarm. Let's actually play it back here. Might just move here. Don't need to take any more damage than I need to. The reason I did it here, apart from just wanting it to be safe, I obviously can't play around Saber Spine Tiger or anything. He's probably going to want a Bloodborne spell me, so I don't want the chance for any Wraithlings to spawn here, because I definitely need all that I can get here. And just positioning here, we have some tempo comebacks. If this can live, then we're in a good position. Okay, that's annoying, but it's actually pretty fine, I think. Okay. Well, the ping isn't looking that useful. Alright, it seems like it's a pretty simple Black Soulless hero power turn. Yeah. Does our positioning matter too much here? I guess we see the Wraithling spawn and then we can move. Well, if I move here and then Wraithling spawn, there's actually no chance that the Wraithlings can be in the same row, and he'll want to use his Bloodborne spell. So I actually really like that. Okay. There's no need for our general to be in range of his general. Okay, so if he has an answer to this that's like Hailstone Prison, that's a bit awkward, but a decent position. And if it lives, we're in a really good position. But very important to just try and maximize all of our Wraithlings living. We can't just give him free kills with the Warbird. And this is why I actually think this deck is one of the highest skill ceilings in the game. It's not the highest skill floor. You have a lot of really, really powerful stuff going on, like Black Solace that can just win you games. But thinking about the so really infinite possibilities, well, that's a bit silly, but so many possibilities with where Wraithlings can spawn, all that kind of thing, that you just need to be thinking about all of these different things. And playing this deck perfectly is something that, I'm not sure anyone is able to do, which definitely has a lot of appeal. Okay. So he's smartly staying out of range of our Wraithlings. I don't mind that too much. We don't really need to go off this turn. Soul Grimoire. We've really exhausted him with silences, so I think I definitely want to play this and this. Do I want two of these? It's weird because Vaynar decks are really all over the place, especially Fey decks. You see some like Dark Nemesis stuff, we've seen Sunset Paragon, so there will be a decent amount of big minions. If this was a Deathfire Crescendo, I think I'd keep it, but because it's Soul Grimoire against this Bloodborne spell, I don't really like that as much. Okay, we don't want our... We don't want it to get Dancing Blades. I think that's an important card to play around here. So I'll play around this. It's very hard for him to get an effective Dancing Blades off. I actually kind of want to play like here. I'll play it here. Him killing a 2/2 over 1/1 isn't that big a deal. It's more about the body. Plus this has no chance of being in the same row as well. So keeping all this in mind, so many factors of this deck. Honestly, I think you could sit down and you could think about some of these turns for 10 minutes if you were trying to play perfectly. Now obviously you don't need to play perfectly to be effective with this deck. It's very, very powerful and no one will expect you to play perfectly around wrestling positioning, but very, very skill intensive kind of thing. Okay. Do we want to spell here? Anything we wanted to spell, we probably just want to kill with Ritual Banishing. No, actually that's fine. So we have one more turn of our Bloodborne spell without wasting it. Do we just Spectral Revenant? Do we cash in 4 damage with our Shadow Dancer? And then we have a similar board versus his clear board. It's also pretty good. Very interesting decision. I think we just get Shadow Dancer online. Because we can use our Bloodborne spell and then we have more options next turn. He's already used... Well, he's set back to 5 cards. I think I like this actually. Even though it's just the one Wraithling, I don't really like the idea of cashing it in for nothing. No need to attack here. Probably no need to attack here. I don't think it's going to be like a massive misplay if I attack, but I feel like I can outvalue him pretty hard here. So I don't really... That's just my general philosophy, is I tend to just never hit face if I think I can win without hitting face. Okay, that's oversimplifying it by a ton. But what I mean is that, you know, if you're going to win by value and the only way you can lose is getting rushed down, maybe you shouldn't rush them down. Okay, I think it's time to get rid of this. Black Souls, that's a really nice draw. How do we want to position it though? Just here? Maybe here is better? Gives us more flexibility with our general. Even here could be okay. And then we can even block a general attack if we want to. I don't hate that. Because if you go something like Hailstone, hit face, Bloodborne spell, hit me, I don't know. I actually quite like this. We have Ritual Banishing, so it's very hard for him to avoid this at all. And then we're going to Bloodborne spell and then move our general. Well, we don't have to. I do like getting out of infiltrated range a little bit. He's already got 3 kills on our stuff. Another Sunset Paragon could be annoying though. We'll leave that here. Yeah, let's just play safe. We still don't have heaps of knowledge about what deck he's running. He could be like a fairly mid-range deck, just who had bad draws, something like that. Okay, so that's 2 Chromatic Colds, 2 Cryogenis, I think. So maybe we can get a Shadow Dancer to stick. That was also part of my reasoning. So glad I played it like this. Sorry, just want to talk about this. I moved this Wraithling here because there's just a lot of cards in general that punish you swarming up like that. There wasn't anything in particular I thought was particularly devastating there, but that was the logic behind it. Okay, I can do this. Okay, I don't want 2 Shadow Dancers. Let's start with that. So I can do this, this, and this. Or I can just Shadow Dancer. Well, how many? It'll be a 5/5. Let's just get the Shadow Dancer out. It is quite a big threat. I'm going to Wraithlings first. Probably get rid of this Wraithling. I think I actually just prefer having... Do we need to be close? I'll just play Shadow Dancer here. The reason I did this one is because I don't want him to have any free kills on any Wraithlings, which I don't really feel like I need to be any closer here. Our hand is not great, to be honest. But you'd think we might be able to get a Shadow Dancer to stick here. We've really run out of his removal. And he kind of does need to be closer than me because I have the Shadow Dancer now. Hopefully. If I wasn't able to get this out of range of his general, then I would have used the other Wraithling. But now I can have him in a spot where his general's doing nothing. Okay, that's quite annoying. Okay. Yep. That is very annoying. This deck is just so over the place. All over the place. Like, Dispel is good here, but... Okay, Dispel's not good. Dispel's good enough. It's a backup plan. Oh. Like, I can Dispel this... Give this Crescendo attack or run away. That's a terrible draw. Like doing this double is just a 5/5. I can't do that. Might actually just run away here. I'll risk the awkward spawns. So he gets 1, but he gets guaranteed 2 if I don't do that. So I just need to try and get some kind of swarm available. This has been quite a tough game. Just had so many answers, which Faye can really do. So we can get 3 deaths this turn. If he doesn't play anything else. 3 deaths, so we can make a Wraithling a 7/7. That's actually quite good. Do we make... Well, we can't really make 2 efficiently. Like, we can't put 1 on both, so... Let's get rid of 1. Soul Shadow Pact is not great. Well, I don't need to run away, do I? Let's do this first. It's really nice here that my general's here because I can't possibly block off this attack here, which is the attack I'm going to make. Okay, so which one? Well, it doesn't really matter because I can do it with this one. I think I want my general to be here, minion here. That seems pretty good. Okay, so we want to... Well, we need to do this first. No, we have to do any other minions, right? Yeah. Oh, I completely stuffed that up. I was panicking on time. Oh no, that's just me I'm trying to play like, and then I've run forward as well because now I have to take the hit. That was dumb. I feel like I've been playing pretty well, but I was just trying to take my time and... Probably dead here. Yeah. Alright, I think I still played that pretty well apart from that last turn. I think he just had so many answers. And we didn't get our swarm card, so we weren't able to, you know, make a massive swarm and then cash in. We had to try and generate value as we went. And he just had answered everything. And the Bone Reaper's pretty brutal as well in that matchup. Okay, I don't really like the spell. I think I would rather this. Yeah. I wonder if we can keep Deathfire Crescendo in this. I guess we can send out a Jaxi turn 1, and then if it gets Chromatic Colder, we can go for 1. Tough game, that one was. We'll see how we go. I'm really not sure about the Deathfire Crescendo or not. Okay, if we play like Jaxi here, how many minions can we reasonably expect to have on board? Probably expect at least 2. 3 deaths, 7s, and 2 deaths, probably most. Do I want to replace anything else though? Nah, there's better ways we can punish it early game. We're not just trying to do damage. I might actually just play this here. I don't want any free kills. That's fine. Like, obviously this is very out of action. It would have been better if it was like here or something. But I just want no free kills. I don't want his general to have a free attack. If his general has a couple, you know, 1/1s or 1/1 I can't avoid getting hit, then I can play more aggressively with my other ones. But he's going to want to deal with this. He's not going to feel comfortable just leaving up minions. Okay, maybe interesting. Odd. What do we have here? Tiger? What would we be attacking with? Blood Tear? Probably Blood Tear actually. Okay, Tiger. So let's think how Deathfire Crescendo would have turned out. Pretty terribly. It's a pretty nice turn from him. Do we just swarm it up? Okay, I think this and this is doing very similar roles, so I'll get rid of this. We're not really in a position to punish tempo-wise. How do we want to position this? We Could even do like a conga line. It's probably a bit weird. Let's just. I don't know if I want to let him kill this 2-2 for free. I think I can. The threat of him having to be this close to all my minions is probably enough. And we have so many things that can punish it. That's really unfortunate. I could have played better around that. I should have just left it here. That was bad. It's nice they could have just been learning this deck. I did have a decent amount of success with it though. Okay, this is getting a bit low impact. How do we want to position this? Let's just play it safe. Sure, he can run away, but it's a looming threat, and he's not. And if he wants to attack me or anything, he has to be in range of it. More than likely, he has an answer or something, though. Well, if it's aspect of the fox, then this positioning is still really good. If it's hailstone, it doesn't really matter. It's only like him just running away that's the downside of this play, but that buys us a lot of time, which we kind of do need. Spelljam is going to be really interesting. We are a little bit low on cards, but he's also a bit low on cards. So I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see how we go. It may just be the fact that we don't have a lot else going on. Grimoire is probably a more consistent replace here. Okay, so he's staying in range. So this is also, I wanted to also make sure I don't even let him get any Dancing Blades value, which is quite nice here. What would he be playing here? Like a Shield Master? It wouldn't make any sense. I don't know. Shroud. Okay. That's not too bad. Is he going to attack me here? I quite like that. I might actually keep Grimoire now. I do want to get value out of my Bloodborne spell though, which makes the rest of our hand quite awkward. He has 4 cards. Maybe Grimoire's still a bit greedy. Well, it'll be at 6. Yeah, that's too greedy. That's a little bit. Well, it's a bit redundant. It's a waste not to use this. Well, what do we have to consider here? Where do we want to spawn? Is this a good spawn for us? I would say yes, because we can potentially get a block. So I'm going to do it this way first. Might actually just encase him. This doesn't really get punished too hard by another Frostborn Naga, because he has to attack one first, so he can do it here, but then he's not killing this. He can do it here, and he's only killing this. Frostborn Naga is not going to get that much value, and Frostborn Naga, like, playing around those kind of cards is always fine if you don't know what to play around. When you have a situation like this where there's so many things, or even when you don't expect anything, if you can, you might as well, because the Sunset Paragon, Lightborn Naga, stuff like that. Even provokes are more effective when they all come together. Just a nice general rule of thumb. We definitely couldn't have kept Grimoire, I don't think. Maybe I'm being too this actually Sunset Paragon. Okay, so we're versing some Vanars that are pretty well teched against us, but I might actually go to this because we can dispel it and then trade in. That's better. If we don't dispel it, then we kind of need to. That's pretty bad. But we can develop a nice board. Do I trade in these? I can go down to 10, right? You could have double tiger. Okay, I'll trade in. I'll find a nice middle ground. I'll dispel, trade in one, and then do this. I might actually play this safe. I think I kind of like that. Well, no, I want it to be in range. Okay, let's go. Well, I should have done this first. That's a mistake. Mistake number one. Let's try not to get too clumped up. He does seem to be running a lot of stuff that can punish this kind of play. I think I like the Spelljammer here, actually. Let's do that. It's kind of diverse. Let's diversify a little bit. I don't know. It's all just a little bit intuitive, really. So this way we're not dead to double tiger that's been buffed once each. Because if we went for just an attack, then we would be on 10. So general hit plus 2 tigers is probably lethal. I think Spelljammer is definitely helping us here. And I can definitely see the reasoning behind Spelljammer. You never want to leave minions up against Abyssian, but you're also losing value yourself if you kill the Spelljammer off. So it actually has been pretty good, even if it's not always strictly better. That turn it was very good though, because he had 0 cards in hand at the end. That's why I might have I considered playing it safely. But we also have a lot of high impact threats, and our Bloodborne spell generates value without cards, whereas his needs cards too, so it's a double-edged sword there. Definitely something I think I need to get a feel for as the deck comes along. Damn, he took nearly a whole turn to replace. Maybe that's a good sign for me. Okay, so we'll have 2 minions in range at the moment. Half Sister. No Battlecry. Okay. Doesn't change that much. I think I might get rid of Swarm here. We already have a Bloodborne spell. Well, how strong is our turn if we don't get rid of Bloodborne? It's actually not that strong, so I think we will. I'm not too keen on the idea of putting my face into this. Okay, let's do this. We're just going to run away. And I might put 2 minions into this thing. Putting this to 3 is a little bit less relevant than putting this to 1 is. Do I play Jaxi? I'm going to have 2 cards next turn, but it's also a very weak late game card. And it's quite likely to have a body. Do we just give him... Let's just give him nothing. I actually quite like this. Not the most exciting top decks. So of course Vanara is going to answer our Shadow Dancer because it always has a Cryogenesis or Chromatic Cold in hand, as are the rules of Vannar. Like if you're him, how do you proceed here? it's quite difficult, because if you come close you start getting me heaps of value, and if you don't, well, you don't have any AoE to catch up, because you've an well, nothing that's a whole board wide, it's all nearby minion stuff. So what do you do? So I think I like this. This deck requires some really creative play. I actually really like that side of it. I've always kind of hated Abyssian, or not hated it, definitely don't like it in general, but playing this deck is really good, and I think I could just rope every turn if I was trying to play properly. I think you could do 5 minutes a turn with this and probably still wouldn't be enough at times, if you're trying to play perfectly, of course. Okay, so he's coming into range. Zen Ruby. Well, it's got a chance of being okay. Swarm or teleport? I think Swarm is better. Blood Moon Priestess, that could be okay. Where do we play it though? Here seems alright. If we play it here, there's a chance that the Jaxi spawn, it can block a Jaxi spawn, which we don't have an answer to, so maybe we will play it here, in the center, because we're clearing this pretty effectively. So, we're going to do this. This will come in first. Of course. Jaxi spawns have not been my strength recently. Our spawns don't matter too much now. I guess this spawn is actually a little bit better, so I'm going to move first. And we're running out of time, so let's just do that. It's a nice way of blocking him off a little bit. Okay, we're starting to get something going. Please just don't have an answer to Blood Priestess. I haven't had any minion live more than like a turn with its effect in these whole 2 games. That are taking a very long time. Now that I look at the time, I didn't realize how long this video is going for. May just have to be a 2-video series, but these games have been pretty grindy. People who say aggro is destroying the game, play some Lilith. You will grind it out. Oh, every time. I mean, I'm not surprised. There's a spell jam out. I can't be salty, but just once I'd like it to something to live. But we are getting there. This is good. I don't know if we'll keep both. This Jaxi is a bit of a problem. But keeping Demonic Lord just to deal with the Jaxi, it's pretty weak there. I think we just try and beat the Jaxi. Because it's only killing 1 a turn. And we're creating 2 a turn. No. So is Grimoire better here, or is Grimoire's doing nothing here, especially against so many jacks. Okay. Do we create a... Do we even cash in Grimoire here? How many deaths can we get? We can get more if we teleport this, but then we're not dealing with mini jacks. So that's 1 death, 2 deaths, 3 deaths, 4 deaths, 5 deaths. And we're just making a big minion. We'll be at 9. That's not great. I think we just take a turn off. Yeah. We can just run away from this more, I guess. The Wraithling army continues on. Let's just stay here. That tiger on the Saber Spine was so clutch. We need to draw big minions. It's pretty unlikely that we're ever going to get him to step in, but just having his minions there is probably enough. It'll be interesting to see how long we can total for. So Grimoire's probably... Is Grimoire better or worse? Grimoire's still probably worse. Unless we can like clear a minion and then... Okay. We're in a bit of trouble here, guys. Well, I can get to 5 attack, and it's still 2 off. I can do both and trade in, but that's not a winning play. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good. I guess I might as well equip this. I don't think there's a way to live on board. Because he could just come down here and trade and then in and in. Okay. Yeah, don't know what to say about those games. They were pretty brutal. I'm 100% sure there's something I could have played a lot better. So many decisions in those games, but I'm definitely, I mean, I always record, once I decide I'm going to record a video, I always upload it, so I'm still going to put up a video of me losing 2 games in a row to Vayner, but I think there was still some nice plays in there. We probably stuffed up a bit on that Fae game, but I think we were probably losing anyway, especially if we didn't draw Shadow Dancer, we could just get kited out. I'm not sure if I'm playing too conservative with the Wraithlings. I'm not ready to say that I'm making massive mistakes, because before I recorded I was doing really well, really in control, so maybe it's variance, maybe it's bad draws, or maybe it's just poor play, a bit of everything probably. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video of me getting my ass handed to me. If you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.